Hub-to-hub applications are a focal point for the future development of autonomous vehicles. For this purpose, 3 brands within the TRATON Group formed a partnership with Plus in 2024. Together, we're developing solutions for Level 4 autonomous driving. Plus, Scania, MAN, and International are strategically positioned to create autonomous solutions that provide genuine added value in terms of safety and efficiency. Market-ready products are expected to be available soon in the US and Europe. Today, we're already conducting public road testing in Sweden and in the US, like this recent 170-mile hub-to-hub run in Texas, fully autonomous with superhuman awareness, accuracy, and reliability. The future of trucking is here, and it's autonomous.
My name is Peter Hafmar, and I'm responsible for autonomous solutions at TRATON. And autonomy is one of our top priorities within TRATON, and we're doing that for 3 brands in our group. And it's for Scania and MAN, which is headquartered out of Europe, and it's International, that's obvious in the US. And our vision with autonomy is integrated autonomy. It's what we mean with that is we will continue to deliver the vehicle, and we will continue to add in the driver into that equation. But with integration is how we integrate the solution to our customer systems. We want our customers, enable them to operate on a daily basis in their routes, so they can go from terminal to terminal, using their transport management system, continue to operate as they do today. And we will continue to be the well-renowned OEM delivering the solution to our current customer base. And our 3 main areas why we believe in autonomy is safety, efficiency, and sustainability. Safety, we all know in this room, it's more than 5,000 crashes in the US per year. That's with fatal endings. And we can reduce that. Of course, when we have our eyes with cameras and sensors, they never stop looking around, and our computer never rests. So with that, we can reduce the accidents on public roads. And then, of course, with efficiency, we see that utilizing the trucks more, up to 24/7, we can secure that the industry gets even more efficient. And last but not least, the sustainability part. We see today that we spend too much energy driving our vehicles on the roads. And with autonomy, we can reduce that quite drastically and secure that we spend less energy, and with that secure that we reduce emission by every kilometer we're driven, or mile driven if we go in US. So how are we doing that then? I mentioned the integrated autonomy, and of course we will continue to deliver the vehicle and securing that we have an autonomous ready vehicle with redundant steering, redundant braking, and redundant compute. And securing that we have our repair and maintenance system accordingly. But also that we have the technical support that provides the right competence to our customers. Securing again that they can operate in their domain, that they can take the goods from their terminal to their terminal. We will never go into saying that we will start operating. We are now and continues being OEM and a supplier to our current customer base. And to accelerate this transition, we have partnered up with Plus, and I've got Shawn with me here, and I'll soon hand over to you. And we see that with the Plus integration into all TRATON brands, we will be able to do this on a global reach. But the next step for us is actually to go in commercial launch within the next couple of years here in the US. And why we're doing US first is probably quite obvious for you guys as well. It is, US is the most advanced market, both when it comes to technology, but also when it comes to the total industry. When I have discussions with our customers here in the US and compared to Europe, the maturity level in the industry is so much higher. And you also have the legislation possibilities here that we see a couple of years later in Europe and in China as well. So with that, I want to hand over to Shawn and explain a little bit how we use the technology to make this possible.
Thanks, Peter. So as Peter talked about, it really takes a complete ecosystem to bring this technology to market. It's not just about the redundant vehicle platform. It's not just about the advanced AI virtual driver. It's really about that complete ecosystem, including things like regulatory, public trust and support, and the seamless integration across all the different components that go into these vehicles. So I'd just like to note on the regulatory front, I think it's good to note that most states already today allow commercial operation of autonomous trucks. And at the federal level, we're seeing increasing support for this notion of having a national regulatory framework for autonomous trucks. So I think we're seeing a lot of very great progress there. So now let me talk a little bit about some of the advances that are going on in terms of the AI virtual driver. I think we're making tremendous progress on that front. Now at Plus, we're focused on developing a software-based virtual driver that's robust and reliable such that it can be integrated into factory-built autonomous trucks and then operate basically all across the distribution hub to distribution hub network. So with that, one of the key tenets is really to build a generalizable AI, a generalizable virtual driver that can handle all different driving conditions such that it can operate safely no matter what sort of new scenario comes at it. And that's why Plus has accumulated what I think is one of the largest global autonomous trucking data sets, including over 5 million miles of experience with our technology in terms of deployment, testing, and data collection across the US, Europe, and other places around the world, including Australia. And so with that, our technology is seeing all different types of road conditions, all different types of weather conditions, all different types of driver behavior, and even different types of conditions such as left-hand driving in Australia. And with this data set, we're able to then build a really broad and generalizable AI that can drive the truck safely. And combine that then with really deep expertise on a given route. So as Peter talked about in terms of some of the initial routes that we're working on here in the US and Texas. So we combine that breadth and also a lot of depth in a certain area. And then we're able to combine that broad data set with our pioneering AV 2.0 approach to autonomous trucks, which is really about replacing a lot of the old code and algorithms with larger neural networks. So this is a really transformational change that's taking place in autonomous driving. It's somewhat akin to what you've seen in sort of the chatbot space as you went from these voice assistants that you're all probably familiar with from the last several years to now what you can do with ChatGPT with really large neural networks. And so as we replace more and more of the algorithms and the hand code with larger neural networks, you gain a lot of really important benefits. So one of which here is faster learning. So this is, you can now train the driving system on that large and general data set, including both the real world and simulated data. And that gives us a both principled and scalable way to move the technology forward. Because as contrasted to sort of the old approach where if you're doing hand-coded algorithms, right, as you incorporate a new scenario, there's a little bit of a two-step forward, one-step back scenario, where you would have knock-on effects of changes in one area impacting others. Now, as you add more data and more scenarios into the system, you end up with a more general and more reliable driving system. Second, then, is our ability to have expanded testing, right, where we can generate and simulate complex scenarios at scale. And this is how we can multiply those millions of miles of real-world driving experience and convert that into billions of miles of simulated driving experience. And then finally, all these large networks bring with them this notion of better adaptability, the ability to handle new and unseen scenarios. And this is really thanks to what's called zero-shot learning capability of these large models, where they can identify and understand a new and novel driving scenario that they haven't seen before and take a safe action in response. So now, with all this progress, I mean, I think we are not quite ready to take the driver out of the truck on public roads just yet, but we are closer than ever. And I think that this is really, we're at an inflection point for the overall industry. And I think the way that Plus and TRATON are working together is really leading the way in terms of showcasing how You can have a leading global OEM combined with a leading global AI virtual driver company and have really tightly integrated processes to bring this technology to market at scale in factory-built trucks. Now, with all that said, I'd say that we also realize that this is not a race, right? So we will not take the driver out of the truck on public roads until we're confident that the system really can drive without a driver safely. And that's because safety is really at the core of everything we do. It's part of why we started Plus. It was to create safer, more sustainable, and more efficient freight system. So, with that, I think we're looking forward to sharing more updates with you all as we continue to progress over the next couple of years to commercial release. Because at the end of the day, this isn't just about Plus and TRATON. I think this is really about the future of freight transportation. So thank you all for joining us here this morning, and thank you for being part of the journey.